Welcome to another episode or video of Team Adams Teaching. Today we're going to look at the percent proportion, and we've already seen the percent equation. This is just another way to do those types of problems, and we're going to be using proportions to do that. So to start out, the whole thing is you're going to have a proportion, two fractions equal to each other, where you write the part that you're looking for over the whole number that you're looking for. And the percent always goes over 100. Percent means divide by 100. So there is a shortcut though, and this is my favorite one. The part up here is always going to be read as is, the is in the problem. And then the part down here is always read of the of in the problem. And this is going to make everything a lot easier. You'll see that each number is attached to an of, an is, or a percent. So looking at that, we have our equation here, percent over 100 equals is over of, and we're going to use that to answer some questions. So when it asks what is 20% of 60, notice the percent always has a percent sign with it, or it will say what percent. So that one's easy to place. The percent always goes over 100. Then the other ones, notice what is, there's the is attached to a what, and then of 60, there's the of attached to a 60. So my is what I don't know, that's my x, and the of is my 60, so that goes down here in the denominator. And once you've got your equation set up, then you can go right ahead and cross multiply and solve. If I multiply diagonally, I get 100x equals 1,200. And if I divide both sides by 100 to solve the equation, I get x is 12. And so that's my answer for that one. So we'll keep going. Number 2, 12 is 75% of what number? Again, percent's easiest one to identify. I'll write 75 over 100. Then I'm looking for my is and my of. Well, notice 12 is, there's my is, that's my top number. Of what number? Well, the of is the bottom, and we don't know it. That's our variable x. Cross multiply, we have 75x equals 1,200. And we're going to divide both sides by 75 to solve for x, leaving us with x is 16. Next one, number 3, 6 is what percent of 8? Now this time they're asking us what is the percent. So that means we don't know what goes over 100. But we do have 6 is and of 8. So my is over of would be 6 over 8. And when we cross multiply, we get 8x is 600. Divide both sides by 8 to get x by itself to isolate the variable. And you end up with x is 75. Our next one, 8 is 40% of what number? All right, there's our percent. Percent always goes over 100. Then we have is over of. We're looking for 8 is of what number? Is goes on top. That's my 8. Of goes in the bottom. That's the one I don't know. That's my x. Cross multiply. We get 40x equals 800. And then we divide both sides by 40 to solve for x. And when we are done, we end up with x is 20. Next one, number 5, 12.5% of what number is 24? Here's the percent. They kind of put it in a different order this time, but again, you can always tell the percent because it has a percent sign. So I'm going to write 12.5 over 100 equals, and my is over my of. Here's of what number is 24. So of what number, the of is the bottom, the denominator, and I don't know it, is 24 will have to be my top number, my numerator. And then cross multiply. 12.5x equals 2,400. To solve for x, we get to divide both sides by 12.5. And when we do that, we get x is 192. As we move on, the last one in this section, 250% of what number is 1,250? Again, percent, easy to see, always goes over 100. I need my is and my of. Of what number goes together? Is 1,250 go together. So it's always is over of. This is my is, 1,250. Of, my of was what number? The one I didn't know, my variable. Cross multiply, 250 x equals 125,000, 125,000. To solve, divide both sides by 250, and then you end up with x being 500. So that's how we use the percent proportion to find percents. And we're going to use one last piece where we have a baseball game here. A baseball pitcher won 80% of the games that he pitched. If he pitched 35 ball games, how many games did he win? Well, I'm going to start out with my proportion. And I see the percent right away. That's always the easiest. I'm going to put 80 over 100. Then it says he pitched 35 games. How many did he win? Well, he can't win more games than he played. So if he played 35, that must be the total. Part over whole, this is the whole. How many of those did he win? What part of the games did he win? That's going to be my x. This is an example of part over whole equals percent over 100. One more time, we are going to cross multiply. We end up with 100x equals 2,800. And then we're going to divide both sides by 100 to isolate the variable. And we end up with x is 28. Remember, whenever you have a word problem, you always need some sort of units. In this case, they're asking about how many games. So our answer for this one, 28 games. All right, that's it. That is our percent proportion. Until next time.